of the Environment and Land Use Committee meeting to order. Sorry, I didn't have my microphone on. Roll call of committee members. We'll go around.
Randy Severson.
Stacy Klein.
Dave Larson.
Tony Munson.
Don Waldera.
Haley Passo.
Mark Carl.
Mike Kornman.
Okay, thank you. I certify that open meeting law requirements have been met with proper posting. We have a 16-item amended agenda. I'd entertain a motion to adopt.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Larson, second by Waldera. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Has everyone had a chance to read through the minutes from our May 3rd regular meeting?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, Waldera first.
Second.
Second by Larson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Our item number 6 is a postponed public hearing on a conditional use permit, and this is more or less for an update, I think. So, Mark, what do we know today?
Nothing's changed on it. I guess, as everybody knows, it goes back to February when we first heard it, and it was decided to postpone based on some developments with who should be making decisions for the property. And then when I went to the March meeting, it still was an issue. Then U.S. Cellular decided they did not want to bring it forward at the April meeting. And then at the May 3rd meeting, we decided to either deny it or pull it or whatever, because instead of keep bringing it back,
Right.
And I did reach out to U.S. Cellular pretty much right after our May meeting and said, this is what's going to happen at the June meeting if it doesn't get resolved. And I didn't even get one reply back from him. So, and I know there's an additional court thing came up when was this? This was May. There was another court thing that came up. So I don't think it's going to get resolved anytime soon.
Okay.
And then Rick's here to give us our, legal opinion. But I guess in my opinion, we probably should just, if we can do it legally, just pull it, and if they want to pursue it, they got to start all over again.
Okay. Rick, would you like to shed some legal light on that for us?
Sure. And I looked at the minutes from the previous meetings as well, too, and I think it's important to note that U.S. Cellular has requested on 3 different occasions to postpone this. And the reason I say that's important is because by statute, if this conditional use permit application isn't considered within 90 days, it's automatically approved by statute. And so we're beyond the 90 days. So I think that's an important distinction in case something comes back later on that they are complaining about. Because the statute does not give the county a lot of leeway when it comes to these types of the regulation of cell towers, my suggested course of action would be is set it for public hearing in July or in June. And if they don't show, then I think you have the grounds to deny it, because our ordinance does say that at all times the burden of proof to demonstrate satisfaction of the criteria is on the applicant. So if they don't appear and there's an actual public hearing scheduled for next month, then I believe you would have the grounds. I'm a little concerned if we just do it now based on their request to adjourn it, that they will come back and say, well, by statute, this is what type of a thing. So my recommendation would be is set it for a formal hearing on next month. If they don't show up to prove and show set forth their case, basically, then I think you have the grounds to say that they haven't followed through and have a grounds to deny it at that point in time. Or they show up and they give the information and you can move forward with the application. So
Okay.
just a suggestion anyhow.
Dave?
Again, I'm a little confused on your answer.
Yep.
Did you originally say if nothing happens after 90 days, it's off?
Automatically approved.
Automatically approved?
It is by statute.
Okay, so,
And the reason I'm saying that I don't think it happened in this case is because they requested the postponement so many times. So I think we're still okay there.
Even if we had requested the postponement, though, can you clarify for me if that that is still action being taken. It's not as if action wasn't taken.
Correct. I think the statute, if I remember correctly, you have to make a decision on the application itself. So it would be either approval or denial is the way it's worded. So I think if the committee itself would have requested it, granted, if they would have agreed to it, I think then you have the argument that they're okay with it. But I think it was a unilateral decision by the committee. That might be a little bit more in gray area.
Okay,
So-
thank you.
Again, so what do we have to do with this from the postpone? Do we have to do something to remove it? Or from what's on our agenda today?
I think you can take action just to, and I don't think it requires a motion, but I think you can, as a committee, say, we're going to set it for formal public hearing next month, and then we'll take whatever input, do the normal process for a public hearing. And then so you've addressed what's on your agenda for today, at least anyhow, and you've decided that next month that's what you're going to do, if that's the route you want to go.
And then they will have to reapply with all the fees and everything again?
If we deny in
If deny
July.
it, correct.
If we,
If you deny it, they will have to start over again.
Or I guess, or if they don't show up and provide information, then that would be on them to start over again.
Correct, yep. Because at some point, this committee will need to make a decision to approve or deny that application.
Sure. Okay,
so our action today needs to be take item 6 and set a public hearing for next month. That's the action for today?
If that's the route this committee wants to go, but yes, that's what you would need to do, yep.
okay.
I mean,
So-
your other option, of course, is to continue pushing it off and hoping that they, at some point,
Figure it out.
contact and say, this is what we want to do. So,
I'm not sure. What's the wishes of the committee, I guess?
I'd prefer to go ahead and set it for public.
Public
Hearing.
hearing next in
That's what I
July
would come down to
Okay.
try to finalize this in some way, shape,
and
or
remove it from
form.
the agenda one way or another.
Right.
Yep, okay. I think that's the direction. You comfortable with that?
So do we want it in motion form to do that, or?
Rick,
and that is up to you. I don't know if that is necessary, but if you wanted some official action, you certainly can.
That would, to me, that would show that we took some action on the item today.
Certainly, yep.
so if you'd like to make a motion, Dave.
Well, I like that number 6, so
Rick?
Can I clarify one thing? We published the public hearing
Mhm,
in the
correct.
paper.
Yep.
And then they postponed it, so we don't have to republish it, right?
I don't
We're
believe.
just continuing.
Correct. I would still, I wouldn't publish a new one, but I would give, for example, give them some form of notice and.
That we are going to
Right, yeah,
actually,
correct. And then maybe on the agenda, just indicate that proceed with the public hearing or something along those lines.
sure. Okay. Do you want to make a motion to that effect?
I'll second it.
okay, what's that?
Or I'll second it. Yeah.
Dave and,
I'm going to try
Stacy,
to.
second.
The item number 6 with the public hearing to, I guess, postpone, remove, what's the word I want to look from today's agenda, and establish the public hearing for our next regular meeting on July 5th.
Sure, yep. Proceed
Okay.
with.
sounds good. The second from Klein. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We will move that to our July 5th meeting. Next, we have item number 7, which is Board of Adjustment appointments. We have 2 terms expiring at the end of this month and looking to fill those.
Donna Brogan's appointment, her appointed position is expiring, and she does not want to do it anymore. So we only had one person that did express interest, and that was Kathy Zeglin, to take that position over. Sharon Sparr's position is expiring, but she's willing to continue. And then the alternate, Charlotte Eberson's position is expiring. She hasn't responded back to any requests what her intent is, though, but I guess I would forward her name on also as to continue being an alternate. If she decides she doesn't want to do it, she can always be replaced. And then also forward on Sharon to continue and Kathy to replace Donna is what I would, because nobody called and there was a Facebook post and surprise, surprise, nobody called and wanted to be on it, so.
Okay. Any questions, comments from the committee? Did we take action on those and pass them on to
I think you need to pass them on, and then
Going
John
forward.
Austin needs to review
Make
'em and then bring it to
recommendations.
the county board,
Sure.
I think is how it works.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to pass on the names to the county board or to John.
okay, a motion by Randy, second by Stacy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next, we have our county conservationist operations report. Haley looks like she's gearing up to
I am gearing up for that.
share some wisdom.
Okay, so kind of a breakdown of what the land conservation side of DLM has been up to. Tree and shrub program wrapped up in the beginning of May. Yes, it's kind of an ongoing thing, I feel like. And it should be in your packet, is kind of a breakdown of the last, I just added one, so last 6 years, and also what we budget summary for this year. The quote unquote profit for this year that goes for youth education was lower than the last, just because I was looking, it looks like the nursery fees and the shipping fees were much higher this year, probably because of all the COVID stuff, not being able to get, the trees out of the ground. Some of them are definitely, they were stressed from the last year. So they did increase their prices, and we didn't increase our price to the individuals all that much. We just did a little bit just to cover more of the cost of that shipping. So I'm going to shop around a little bit more for next year, see what we can find to help increase a little bit more on that, supplementing that youth education stuff. But overall, it went really well. Being the first year online, I've had a lot of great feedback from it. The one thing, I guess, that was I don't want to say a downfall, but one of the things that people said, and I wasn't a huge fan of, was actually using PayPal. So I'm going to probably nix that for this upcoming year and look for something else, just because it was kind of a pain to go through all of the steps of PayPal, where I would rather just be able to have, it smoother with typing in like a credit card number or something like that versus going through setting up an account and all that. But the number of trees sold was the highest in the last 6 years, so we had over 14,000 trees. And it was the highest for order numbers. And the official number that was ordered online was 194, but then I had other individuals calling me and picking up later for ones that either didn't sell or people forgot to pick up or said, I don't want them anymore. So I'm going to assume that we hit 200 because I had a lot of people come after too. So it was a very busy year for tree and shrub. But talking more about the, supplementing youth education, I know Charmaine had touched on it last month, was the land judging. And with the tree and shrub, that does help fund that land judging event. And I want to give a big thank you to Doug Tollefson with Doug's Trucking and Excavating for donating his time in doing the excavation and the backfilling of those pits. He donated all of his time for that because he really thinks that's a great event, and he's really glad to see that it was put on again this year. So I want to, do a big shout out to him for donating that. So otherwise, moving on to conservation practices, those are in full gear now. We have just a handful of practices that still need to be bid out. There's a couple that are currently out to bid, and then the rest have been that, and we're starting construction, getting paperwork signed. I think there's one or two actually on the agenda next for cost share payment request. So they are moving, and it's awesome to see, projects getting placed on the ground and getting those completed. So we have a good range this year. Couple stream bank, we have a couple grass waterways, bluff prairies, grade stabilization. So we're getting a good mix of projects this year, which is awesome to see. And landowners are really excited to get them on the ground as well. So, and this, I know dry weather, but it's been great for projects because contractors have been able to get in and get out and, not have to worry about, getting stuck or, getting rained out. So it's been actually good for that part of it. So it works out, but I need a little bit of rain now for the seed mixes that go down. So that's what I'm hoping for. Nutrient management, we are finishing up getting plans back from everybody. So we are at just under 58,000 acres in a nutrient management plan in 89 plans. So that's over an acreage from last year currently, but just under in the number of plants. But we're still working with, I think it was 9-ish people to get their plans in. So we're going to hopefully exceed the number of acres in nutrient management and also the total number of plans that we have received as of last year. So that's a good goal, and I think that was one that we had set for us as a department to increase that. One other thing that's it started back up here is the WAVE program. So we've been doing this for the last, I believe it is since 2018, whatever that equates to in numbers. And so that is the Water Action Volunteers program with DNR and UW Extension. And this has been something we've been doing for quite a while. And we take samples on 4 different streams throughout Trempealeau County, and we look for the temperature of that stream, the dissolved oxygen, the pH, the clarity, stream flow, depth, and then we also do nutrient testing on those just to see where we are at with our streams. And it also helps DNR and UW Extension in their research and just keeping tabs on what's happening in and around the county and the state, because there are well over, I think, 200 monitoring sites with the WAVE program throughout the state of Wisconsin. So I'm always looking for volunteers, so if anyone wants to look and, play in the stream for a little bit once a month, that would be great. I can always do a little bit of training. It is a great way to get out and really see what our county streams have to offer. So we do phosphorus testing on 3 of them, along with nitrogen and total suspended solids on another one. So we look at Pigeon Creek, Myers Valley, French Creek, and then Bruce Valley. So kind of a wide range, but we are looking at getting others elsewhere throughout the county just to get a wider range of different streams to start monitoring. This helps us with potentially looking at projects that we've done upstream or downstream, if those are helping improve the streams, and getting a baseline of what's out there. So what we've seen as far as trends is that they've been fairly consistent. So they haven't gone down, downhill or anything. Things have been definitely staying consistent or improving from practices that we've been installing. So, which is awesome to see. But it takes time to see those trends, starting to creep up. So we want to keep doing that, and that's a program that we really feel is good for this department to keep working on. So that's my overview of what we've kind of been working on. Questions on all of it?
Looks like Donna has
I
a
do.
question.
Yeah, what's
It
up?
sounds like really, really good work. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Thank you.
With the tree and shrubs,
Yeah.
it's a really great program. I just would suggest in your report that you maybe make a comment as to why the profits were down when the volumes were up
Yes.
considerably, so that
Okay.
in another 6 years we can remember why.
Yes, good point. We'll do that.
And then, out of curiosity, when you choose streams for testing, is there any particular thing you're looking for when you make a choice on which stream?
Yeah, so we actually have to work with DNR because they are really the ones that headed up this overall project. So they are the determining factor on which ones they really want to see. So these are the 4 that they have chosen throughout the county. And then we make recommendations on ones that we feel are either impaired or ones that we are going to be working on in the future, because we want to start getting a baseline, and then once we start working in that watershed, then we can start to see if that's helping that stream throughout. So
Do you know if the criteria that the DNR uses has anything to do with whether or not the streams are located near industrial sites or mining sites or any of those types of
I
things?
don't know what they are off the top of my head. I could look into that a little bit further and, let you know, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Mostly I'm just asking out of
Yeah,
curiosity.
no,
It's
they're,
not-
they're great questions.
Okay, thank you.
Right, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Haley. That was great.
no problem.
So, thank you to the rest of the cons. Rick, good work. Reed, whole department's doing well. So we have cost share payment requests up next. Back to Haley.
We're gonna keep rolling here. So we got I believe you guys should have gotten this in your packets as well. We will start with the notice of discharge. This is that ongoing one. So we've completed the R52, which is the feed storage runoff control system, with a total of $149,573.02 being paid to SVL contracting. And that would be for excavation, aggregate, pumps, concrete, electrical. That is in the town of Burnside. So cost share, county cost share grants. We had a berm removal. This is a continuation from last year. We did a waterway on this property. We put berms in, and now we came back after the vegetation has been come up and, satisfactory to our standards, and we can then remove the berms and do that cost sharing on that part of it. So we're looking at $1,091.13. Town of Arcadia being paid to MJ Beck. Then for the Nutrient Management Farmer Education Grant, or NMFE, we're looking at a couple different things here. So the first one is going to be the River Country RC&D, which is going to be for $23,000 or $2,300, sorry, for the Building Healthy Soils workshop that we helped put on in March of this year. So that is a payment for the venue and speakers, catering, all of that. So that is that one. The next couple are going to be soil sampling, and it looks like a course reimbursement. So this is Donna Krameyer, however you say it, sorry. $360.94 for soil sampling, course reimbursement, Town of Hale. Paul Nestigan, $750 for soil sampling, Town of Preston. Rasa Farms, LLC, $750, soil sampling, Arcadia. Let's see, Joe and Kathy Kulig, $750, soil sampling, Town of Lincoln. And then Tennyson's 3T Farm, or Dairy, $750, soil sampling, Town of Ettrick. So those would be all for the NMFE grant. And then the last one is going to be a pre-approval request for scales for weighing the manure spreaders, and that would be for $4,250, and we have been getting quotes on those, and that was the quote that came back. So we would need approval to move forward with that. So that's why that's underneath of here.
And
So
that set of skills will be for department use and helping farmers calibrate spreaders and stuff like that.
correct. Yep, we have 2 that are functioning as of now, and then we're looking at getting 2 more because so we have a total of 4. 2 of them are not working and cannot be calibrated per the lacrosse scale that we've been taking them to get them recalibrated, making sure they're functioning proper. They're like, we can't even connect to them anymore. So
Their useful life is probably,
yes, their
Exceeded.
life has
Yeah.
been extended. So
yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Questions from the group? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved. Waldera and second by Larson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign.
Okay, so we're approving the purchase of scales too?
That's what that just happened, yes.
Okay, because it says cost share payments.
Is that, so,
Yeah, it's
does it qualify to come out of that
It's a-
fund?
yeah,
Yes.
it's from a grant. We're paying that from a grant. Yeah, so it's a cost share grant.
yes, it is approved through the NMFE grant to be paid. We can use a certain percentage or amount total from that grant to pay for equipment and upgrades for the department.
Which
So
ties-
scales are then part
it
of that grant
Ties
and
directly
equipment.
to the nutrient
Yes.
management, so makes
Yep.
sense. Okay, so yes, it'll be a new set of scales ordered
Perfect.
soon. Okay, motion carried, so
Thank
thank you. Appreciate your work. And our next item up for agenda is our Department of Land Management Director Operations Report, and we have a new face to introduce today.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to introduce our new fiscal manager, Amy Bergeson. And she started Monday and is fast to work on things, getting to know everybody, and we're throwing her into the fire.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here, so thank you.
Awesome.
So
Well, thank you, Amy.
You will see her around, and if you're in the building, stop by and say hi. One of the things we already started working on yesterday is the 2024 budget.
Oh boy.
Because
Right in, yeah, jump right in.
because we've got we will be bringing the budget to this committee for the first meeting in August. So I actually started working on it some in May, just a little bit, but we're going to be hitting it hard here in June because we got a pretty big budget, and we'll go through a couple iterations of it and a couple different scenarios to bring the best budget forward we can. And we have 3 budgets. We call the land management budget, which covers the development services and conservation stuff. We have an economic development budget and then a parks budget. So we have 3 budgets we're dealing with. You guys will see the land management budget. The other 2 get reviewed and approved by PTED. So lots going on.
Absolutely.
And we also brought her in. The auditors are here this week. So Amy has been helping out with some helping out with the auditors, and Becky did a great job with the audit documents. And so this is we've been going through, and she's been helping out with that already. So she's hitting the ground running.
Yes. Well, thanks for jumping on board with us. Yeah, thanks, Amy.
In other positions, our county conservationist recruitment is still ongoing, so hoping to have more updates on that at next month's meeting.
Have there been applicants?
Yeah, we have some. We've had some applicants, and we've done some interviews. And at the current time, we're going to do a little bit more searching. We're still going to continue to consider some of those other applicants, but we're going to continue to do a little bit more searching at this time.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to report
That
at
is
this
it.
point? Okay. With that, our next item is a closed session. So I entertain a motion if someone would like to read our.
I'll make the motion, go into closed session. Oh, I have to read it, don't I?
Yeah.
That's right. Make the motion to convene into closed session per Wisconsin statutes 19.85, parent 1, parent C, to consider employment, promotion, compensation, or performance of personnel or evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility in the Department of Land Management, and then reconvene into open session immediately following the closed session.
Second to that.
Okay. Motion made and seconded to go into closed session. I'll do a voice vote. Nelson, yes.
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 Munson.
Yes.
Waldera, yes. All right, so we are back in open session. Let's see. We have, following closed session, I think there's a motion to be made from closed session.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we follow county policy and look for RFPs for surveyor contract in preparation for the 2024 budget period.
Okay, a motion by Walderas. Second by Klein. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Our Future agenda items was just mentioned. We're gonna touch base on the UDC dwelling code. You know, we'd sent a letter to towns, so we'll wait. Hopefully, get some feedback from them, and then we can discuss that. Our next regular meeting date will be Wednesday, July 5th, and I think that's about all we have for today. So, thank you all, and we'll see you next month.
Just for my.
Meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.